Have you ever pondered why a skipped breakfast can leave you feeling shaky and irritable, while another individual might endure a full day or even two without experiencing a full-blown crisis? This disparity seems unfair, almost enigmatic, yet the underlying reality is far more intricate than most people comprehend. Concealed within each hunger pang and every unlooked-for surge of vitality is an antiquated survival mechanism that has molded the human physique for millennia. This discussion transcends mere fasting or the duration one can abstain from nourishment. It delves into the profound, inherent understanding your body possesses regarding self-preservation when resources dwindle. The internal processes are neither random nor chaotic. Rather, they represent a meticulously coordinated series of biological directives designed for your protection. Once these directives are understood, your perception of hunger, metabolism, and sustenance will be irrevocably altered. So, what transpires the instant you cease eating? The preliminary hours without food pass imperceptibly. They are so tranquil that many are oblivious to any change, but your body registers it. It notes the disruption of your usual rhythm, the cessation of caloric intake. Your blood sugar subtly declines, insufficient to induce alarm, yet enough for your brain to transmit that familiar whisper: "You're hungry." Your stomach joins in with a low rumbling, a gentle contraction known as the migrating motor complex, sweeping through your digestive tract as if anticipating a meal that simply won't materialize. Nevertheless, despite these indicators, no immediate danger is present. You continue to operate on the energy derived from your last meal. Your liver consistently releases stored glucose to maintain equilibrium. You might experience a touch of impatience, perhaps a hint of grumpiness, but your system remains serene, stable, and self-assured. At this juncture, your body is not concerned. It is merely biding its time. However, as time progresses, with no new fuel in sight, that quiet anticipation begins to evolve into a more deliberate, evolutionary process. Your body starts to pose a deeper inquiry. Is this a temporary pause, or the onset of scarcity? As the hours prolong, your body subtly transitions to its subsequent strategy. The liver and muscles commence depleting their stored glycogen, the readily accessible energy reserve your body relies upon between meals. Initially, this decline is faint, almost imperceptible, but glycogen is finite. As these reserves diminish, your system begins searching for alternative fuel sources. This is when most individuals expect their metabolism to decelerate. Yet the opposite occurs. Rather than powering down, your metabolism actually experiences a slight increase, mobilizing energy to ensure you remain alert and responsive. It is your biology's imperative: seek nourishment. This marginal surge represents one of the most frequently misunderstood aspects of food deprivation. You may sense a flicker of restlessness, perhaps heightened senses, a shift in focus. This is not stress, it is strategy. And as your body utilizes the last of its readily available fuel, a more profound metamorphosis starts to unfold internally, preparing you for what lies ahead. As glycogen wanes, your hormones assume control, subtly guiding your body into a more strategic mode. Insulin levels drop first, a clear biological signal that no new energy is entering the system. With insulin out of the picture, glucagon levels rise, unlocking stored fuel and enabling your body to access deeper reserves. Simultaneously, adrenaline increases just enough to maintain sharpness, focus, and readiness. This is another evolutionary echo, designed to keep humans vigilant during periods of food scarcity. Your brain, however, remains uncompromising. Despite constituting only about 2% of your body weight, it consumes nearly 20% of your energy. To safeguard it, your body prioritizes glucose delivery to the brain above all else, even if it necessitates breaking down a small amount of protein to generate new sugar through gluconeogenesis. You might perceive mild weakness, perhaps a slight headache, or that irritable edge that makes everything seem a bit more intense than usual. But for a healthy individual, none of these are perilous. What you are experiencing is adaptability, the body meticulously reordering its priorities. And just beneath this recalibration, a new energy source prepares to emerge. Once your glycogen reserves fall below a certain threshold, your body activates one of its most remarkable backup systems: ketosis. The liver begins converting stored fat into ketone bodies, a cleaner, more consistent fuel source that your brain can utilize with surprising efficacy. During this transition, many individuals report an unusual combination of mental fogginess followed by unexpected clarity, akin to cleaning condensation from a window. And that clarity is no mere coincidence. Ketones combust more smoothly than glucose, delivering energy without the abrupt fluctuations experienced during typical eating patterns. Evolution deliberately shaped this response. Our forebears routinely endured hours, even days without food, and their survival depended on maintaining sufficient focus for hunting or foraging. Ketosis was not a dietary trend. It was an inherent survival enhancement. As ketone levels ascend, hunger often recedes, alertness sharpens, and the body begins to feel unusually stable, almost streamlined. However, this elevated state is not perpetual. It is the calm preceding another shift, one that propels your metabolism to exert itself slightly more before initiating conservation of what remains. And that subsequent shift manifests sooner than most individuals anticipate. Just as your body settles into the smooth rhythm of fat combustion, an unexpected event occurs. Your metabolism briefly surges again, providing a final burst of drive and alertness. It is a subtle impetus, almost as if your biology is urging you to make one last effort to locate food. Norepinephrine levels climb slightly, honing your thoughts and tightening your focus, creating that peculiar sense of heightened awareness many individuals experience around the 24-hour mark. This is not panic, it is strategy. The same instinct that kept early humans mobile when resources were scarce. Yet this surge is not intended to last. It is a flicker, a biological spark, before your system comprehends that the situation is not temporary. And once your body accepts that food will truly not be arriving anytime soon, it begins preparing for a distinctly different phase, one centered not on action, but on preservation. It is then that the deceleration subtly commences. As your body recognizes that this is not a fleeting pause, but a genuine period of food deprivation, it starts to adopt a quieter, more deliberate rhythm. Your thyroid hormones, particularly T3, begin to decline, gently lowering your metabolic rate to safeguard your remaining energy. This is not a collapse. It is a controlled descent, a strategic adjustment that slows the rate at which you expend calories. You might notice your heart rate decreasing, your body temperature slightly dropping, or your movements becoming more relaxed, almost economical. None of this signifies weakness. In fact, it reveals the remarkable intelligence of your metabolism's adaptation when confronted with uncertainty. For individuals with a history of extreme dieting or erratic eating habits, this shift might occur somewhat sooner. For others, with consistent nutritional routines, the transition takes longer. Regardless, your body is performing precisely as it was designed to, ensuring every calorie counts when scarcity takes hold. And while this gradual deceleration marks a pivotal moment, it is not the conclusion of the narrative. For once you surpass a certain threshold, typically around the 72-hour mark, your system enters a deeper, more intricate phase of survival, one that many individuals completely misunderstand. Surpassing the 72-hour mark signifies a profound transition, the moment your body officially enters long-term survival mode. Often erroneously termed starvation mode, this state is not your body panicking or sabotaging your weight loss. Instead, it is a deeply evolved defense mechanism crafted to extend your energy as far as possible. To conserve fuel, your system quietly pares back non-essential processes. Reproductive hormone activity diminishes. Hair and skin regeneration assume secondary importance. Certain immune functions shift into a lower gear. These are not failures. They are strategic concessions to maintain your most vital systems. Concurrently, cortisol levels rise just enough to stabilize blood sugar, guaranteeing your brain continues to receive a steady fuel supply. And beneath all of this, a remarkable cellular process intensifies. Autophagy, the body's internal recycling program. Old or damaged components are broken down and repurposed to generate new energy. A survival feature so elegant it almost seems engineered. You may experience waves of fatigue or sudden bursts of mental clarity as your chemistry adapts in real time. This is no longer short-term fasting. This is your body entering a sustainable mode of preservation, exerting every effort to protect you. But deep within this survival state, another conflict begins, one waged entirely by your hormones. Within this deeper phase, your hormones commence a biochemical ballet, each stepping in and out with astonishing precision to ensure your survival. Insulin remains low, keeping the pathways open for continued fat burning. Leptin, the hormone that signals satiety, significantly decreases, which is why hunger returns in unpredictable waves rather than constant cravings. Meanwhile, ghrelin surges in rhythmic pulses, prompting your brain to remain vigilant for any indication of food. Cortisol stays elevated just enough to stabilize blood sugar, while growth hormone increases to safeguard lean muscle and support repair. None of these changes are arbitrary. They are coordinated survival signals, meticulously refined through generations of evolution. What you are experiencing at this stage is not chaos. It is control. A highly intelligent system negotiating moment by moment how to extend your energy, preserve your tissues, and maintain your strength. Within this interplay of hormones and fuel, another inquiry emerges. Why do certain individuals flourish during fasting, while others falter almost immediately? The ease with which some embrace fasting and the struggle others face stems from an intricate blend of biology, lifestyle choices, and even psychological factors. Metabolic flexibility, or your body's capacity to transition between energy sources, stands out as a primary determinant. People possessing stable blood sugar levels, robust muscle mass, and balanced hormones typically adapt seamlessly, entering fat-burning states with minimal discomfort. Genetic predispositions also play a role. Some individuals naturally secrete more enzymes for fat oxidation, whereas others heavily rely on carbohydrates. For women, hormonal fluctuations associated with estrogen and leptin can render extended fasting periods more challenging, particularly during specific phases of their menstrual cycle. Moreover, one's mental fortitude is significant. Research indicates that individuals with strong psychological resilience or a clear sense of purpose often endure fasting for longer durations with fewer cravings, attributed to reduced stress hormone responses. Your brain exerts as much influence over your metabolism as your metabolism influences your brain. However, to truly comprehend the limits of human endurance, we must examine real-life narratives, instances where the body was pushed to its absolute threshold. History provides remarkable evidence of the human body's resilience when deprived of sustenance. Among the most meticulously documented instances is that of Angus Barbieri, a Scotsman who, under medical supervision, endured an astonishing 382-day fast, consuming only water, vitamins, and minerals. His body adapted so efficiently that he shed over 260 pounds while maintaining stable health indicators throughout the entire ordeal. Other historical accounts, from shipwreck survivors to hunger strikers, exhibit a similar pattern. The body initially depletes glycogen stores, then metabolizes fat, and only resorts to breaking down muscle tissue when all other options are exhausted. The true peril arises when protein becomes the primary energy source, as this signifies the point where essential bodily functions begin to compromise. Under optimal hydration, medical studies suggest that a human can subsist for approximately 40 to 70 days without food. Nevertheless, this duration is far from sustainable. These narratives are not intended to endorse extreme fasting. Rather, they serve to illuminate the extraordinary adaptability of human biology, a system engineered to prioritize survival above all else. Following a prolonged fast, resuming eating might feel like a relief, yet this is precisely when the body is most susceptible. After maintaining a state of conservation for days, your cells are suddenly inundated with glucose and electrolytes. The instant food is reintroduced, insulin levels surge dramatically, drawing potassium, phosphate, and magnesium into cells at a rate your system cannot readily manage. This swift alteration poses the risk of refeeding syndrome, a condition first identified during World War II, when severely malnourished prisoners fell critically ill after receiving nourishment too rapidly. Presently, medical professionals understand that caloric reintroduction must be gradual, allowing the metabolism to stabilize and electrolytes to regain their balance. Nevertheless, the challenge extends beyond the physical. It encompasses a psychological dimension as well. Intense cravings, emotional responses to food, and even guilt or apprehension about losing progress can arise. The body retains the memory of scarcity, and often, so does the mind. The manner in which you conclude a fast is as crucial as the fast itself, for recovery is not about hastily returning to normalcy, but rather about guiding your system safely out of survival mode. When we inquire about the duration a person can endure without food before metabolism slows, we are, in essence, probing a deeper question. How extensively can the human body adapt when thrust into scarcity? The answer transcends most people's imagination. Your metabolism is not delicate. It does not collapse the moment calories disappear. Instead, it responds with innate wisdom, not weakness, incrementally shifting gears, reactivating ancient survival mechanisms, and safeguarding you with strategies refined over millennia. Every hormone, every enzyme, every subtle cellular adjustment forms part of an overarching design to preserve your life. And if there is one profound lesson that fasting imparts, it is the extraordinary nature of this design. We frequently take our biology for granted, perceiving hunger as an annoyance and food as an entitlement. However, beneath every meal, every heartbeat, every burst of energy lies a system diligently working for you, even in moments you remain oblivious. Therefore, the next time you eat, pause for a moment. Acknowledge the quiet brilliance within you, the metabolism that has championed your survival since the dawn of humanity. And if this exploration has provided you with new insights, please share them. For understanding our own survival mechanisms is one of the most potent revelations we can possess.